Well, it doesn't seem as though I'm going to have enough power due to the solar and sunlight to do a live stream today, but that's okay. I, in fact, was about to go on a walk. I'm not very happy I wasn't paying attention to my battery life, so I am in leash. But due to a listener bringing up some questions, how am I even doing what I'm doing out here in the wilderness? And then he even asked some of the pros and the cons and the sacrifices and things like that. It's been a roller coaster, folks, to be honest with you. It's just up and down. So welcome. This is going to be a totally different podcast than we've ever done. And I want to show you the digs. We'll go inside, we'll go around, we'll show you the improvements. But let's just get something straight. A lot of folks out the gate, they'll see this KTM, they'll see a motorcycle and be like, gosh dang, I wish I was out there. And I get you. I totally do. But the reality of it is I haven't even really had the health. And when I've had the health, what has my focus been? Out here riding motorcycle or showing up on behalf out of love for all my fellow Americans due to the war that is being waged on us all. That is more important. And one of the sad truths to being out here in this beautiful country is most days I'm not really making it out here other than to do my business, because I've had a bigger draw to be in there and do what I can on the front lines of this information war that we are all engaged in, folks. I'm so passionate about it, and I've stepped in that. And I want to apologize up front, because the truth of the matter is I could do better. I could be stronger. And I'm just live streaming all the ebb and flows. But anyway, all that being said, I'm grateful to be up here. I'm grateful for this opportunity to share this with you this lovely day. I mean, it's been nothing but sunshine, but I'm enjoying the overcast and the little bit of sprinkle we got. So let's be real. That's a pretty tiny camper. I should bust out the measuring tape. Truly. That awning right there is only 10 foot. That camper is not much bigger than that awning. So single axle, obviously it's a minimalist camper. Over the years, added additions like the toolbox in the front, went from a single battery to a double, from a single 5-gallon propane to a double 5-gallon. It'd be nice if I had the extra funds. I'd make that, even though that's a 7-gallon cover. It'd be nice to upgrade to 7-gallon propane, but haven't done that yet. The water capacity on this thing's only freaking 15 gallons. Like, if you don't want to watch yourself and you just take up all the hot water and take a decent shower, that'll barely get you 2 showers out of this rig. I pretty much have gotten it to one of these 5-gallon jugs basically equates to 1 day out here in the wild. And that works out pretty decent considering I don't have much fridge space. So that could be the limiting factor. So when I first sought out on this journey this year, I thought I had ample power to run the studio out of this camper. I was mistaken. So up top, you can see here, we got 1, 2, 3. We got 3 panels. And I believe those are 2 40-watt tier 1 Trinas. And they're pre-owned, meaning they got salvaged off of a hospital build that more than likely our tax dollars went towards, but didn't supply enough backup power for emergencies. So they scrapped the whole thing, invested probably on our dime yet again into gas generators to supply backup power. Anyway, a lot of the solar companies bought up all these panels and offered them at very low cost to their customers. So I ended up getting them $50 a pop. However, the rail system, the mounting, getting things all situated costs 3 times that. So, and every little bit adds up, because once you make that upgrade, now my lead acids really weren't doing the job. So let's go ahead and continue this tour, shall we? Yeah, this is one of them cheap Harbor Freights. It does pretty good maintaining batteries. Is it supplying in excess of power? Absolutely not. So I got one lead acid still in here. It would be nice to add a third lithium, but yeah, that's actually why I have the jumper cables in here, because if in fact I drain those all the way down, this lead acid will help jump it till the solar system takes over and starts charging them again. And that's kind of the problem when you get the bottom of the barrel on lithium batteries. You really don't have an accurate reading as to what charge they're at, especially when they're hooked up in sync like this. Now you can install a shunt, and I ordered one. I just need other wiring to install the shunt, and I guess through that you can get a more accurate ideas to the charge on them, so you don't in fact run them all the way down. So the two lithiums are kind of hiding under here, but they're just the really cheap King Bosses, probably made in China crap, but I couldn't afford anything better. So one thing leads to another. Once I had that system, this old charge controller wouldn't cut it, so I had to upgrade the charge controller. And this thing's a beast. It's been doing its job just fine. Now this inverter with my system, this is actually a, what do they call it? A modified sound wave inverter. Come to find out, due to that, with the draw between the Starlink and my computer, it was tripping the inverter, but it's also hard on my electronics, because the best explanation I got for modifying sound waves is they're sharp. They like go up and down very sharply, and it's really hard on electronics. So now I invested in a pure sound wave inverter, which is down here. And I have that powering the Starlink, and luckily that one will power the Starlink and the whole operation inside through this power cord, which I have yet to route in a better way than just hillbilly extension cord. Everything else is wired properly, but one thing leads to another in time. So we got a third additional propane tank right there. You can see the Starlink Ethernet cable runs out up. There's our Starlink. We actually ran into quite a bit of issues with Starlink out the gate. However, when you requested a phone call from their tech teams, they helped out, and we finally worked out the bugs. And it's been awesome to be able to do what I'm doing out here in God's country. And in a huge way, it has helped me show up on behalf of all you listeners and also the guests. I apologize about the wind, and I apologize about me getting out of breath. After all, I am over 9,200 foot, and I don't know, sometimes when you just get animated or walking around, you'll even find yourself winded. So this is my grounding chair. It's so low, I'll take off my socks. I'm kind of on the back side of this camper, and gives me more privacy to actually soak up some sun rays. I don't do it as much as I should. I should be doing it every day. But this is my water fill station. I have issues with this propane water heater. It's a manual one, so every night I have to come out here, light it, sometimes multiple times, because it's fidgety, goes out, no rhyme, no reason. It won't stay lit with the cover on, so I got to pull that off, and obviously rigged up foil to help with a wind block just to kind of keep it lit. So there's a lot of little things you're continually doing out here that you wouldn't think, and it can be time consuming, like this truck was, like this camper's been, like this generator's been. I'm blowing oil out the exhaust. I more than likely need to do a new head gasket, piston rings if I'm going to resurrect that machine. For the most part, it's now been weeks I've been able to operate solely off of that solar and those batteries, and be able to do content each day. So pretty happy about that. It would be nice to get one of them third King Bosses and see how that works out. Now, I am not hitting these as much as I need. My gosh, I'm withering away. I overexerted myself on that hunt, but more than that, I poisoned my body. Gosh dang it. I resorted to easier and easier meals which that actually led to the real Lyme flare up, and it got scary. I couldn't even function there, folks. So please watch what you eat. We literally become what we eat, and just give it time. Like, it's either going to build you up or it's going to drag you down. But with the slow kind of effect and impact it has on us, it's really hard for us to be cognizant and aware to the actual impact it's having. So I manually have to fill this tiny little 15-gallon water tank each and every day. And so I have that one and one more over there, and then I have these 8. And yeah, like one of those equates for a day being out here, and that means shower, dishes, water for my water filter inside, and just kind of keeps me going there. But I manually gotta put a funnel, pick it up. That's why I have that stacked up, so I could just kind of set it there, let it drain out, and I'm not just standing there holding a jug for 20 minutes. It's a system that works. So in total, when I do my water runs, I'm getting 50 gallons. And it just so happens to work out with my tiny fridge space. That's when I'm running on a shortage of beef and food. So I'll go get more egg, more beef, some banana apple, and I'm back at it. And that gives me about, what, 50 gallon will give me 10 days or so out here. Obviously, I could stretch it a little longer, but I like to have a decent shower and whatnot. So is what it is. Let's go ahead and climb this real quick. See, even with my tether, if I could get you a shot of these solar. Oh, test one. Try that again. I don't want to step on my little levelers. Okay, there we go. There's a step on the cord. So there you go. You can see the 3 panels, 2 tracks, 3 mounts each, so that's 6 mounts total. So far hasn't ripped off going down the highway. The guy that installed prided these rails for grade 5 hurricanes or such, so I guess highway should be the least of its concern. Doing 60-70 miles down the highway, but I do notice that it pulls a little differently. So it might be good to actually create a graded slope kind of ramp for the air to kind of flow up over versus suck up under and twirl and create additional drag. Okay, there's that. Created a little tripod, found a tin can, opened it up so I had a taller vertical line because I have an old 30-06 I inherited from my grandpa. Love you, rest in peace. Yeah, it's a great rifle, but I probably didn't do it justice and got it years back, a cheaper Vortec Vanquish or something. Not near enough mag. Anyway, so I did spend some time the other day, and I feel good at my 100, 200, but I need to figure out, I'm limited on the actual dial. If I created a dope chart, I can't extend past 300, so I need to use the additional, whatever you call them lines, the ladder and the actual scope to reach out further. And then we got our little archery block over there that, you know, occasionally I'll sling arrows when I'm not feeling up to, like, it's the muscle pains and tension I have in my tendons that has me not hitting the weights like I should, because my current state has me a little concerned that I actually feel like I'm risking injury with something like that. So, you know, sling some arrows, get some exercise, go for a walk, which I plan on doing here. Maybe we'll wrap up together with a walk. But this is just a little bit of a storage. Got tools, oil, things like that for the truck, for the bike, riding gear, an additional table, some camping supply, mostly RV supply hidden back in there. And then it's got the water tank. Whew. So this is where the magic happens. I'm gonna have to keep, what do you call this, a horizontal versus a vertical kind of picture frame, I think, for rumble. But obviously we got the don't tread on me flag deployed. I should probably hang up all these jackets, but don't judge, folks. Just a bachelor with my 2 dogs out in the wilderness. Yes, I had to get a battery. We got batteries charging up. But so I'm all the way back here, and that's the front, just right there. I could bust out the measuring tape. This is not big. Now, obviously, we fish lensed. If I don't fish lens, it's not big. I'm fish lensed. Obviously, it looks very cluttered, and it is cluttered. Like, it's very minimal space to be living out here full time. It's like you gotta, use every nook and cranny. These are food bins. Got some games. That's an extra additional dog food, and then hangers and supplies, trash bags, hunting supplies. This right here, my friends, I love it. When I have enough power, that is the Bond Charge infrared sauna blanket. And I just grab that, roll that out on that bed, plug it into that extension cord. Within seconds, it's over 100 degrees. I'm in it, and I get a good sweat on. Got the dog food bin, laundry bin, obviously our affiliated American Reserves survival food. But gosh dang, we haven't seen this for a while. Just know behind this Old Glory, we still are representing an FJB. Golly, I'm so grateful for that news anchor giving us a less vulgar slang to use about a rotting bag of oatmeal selected president. So anyway, put a bar up there. So I got a decent amount of clothes. All right, let's just smash a spider while we see it. Now, not much. This is where the magic happens. This is just sit here. This is my miniature soundboard, a Zoom P4 recorder. I could control the microphone volumes, some sound bits, also the audio in the headsets. Got a very powerful laptop now from my little bro. Shout out, love you, bro. Freaking amazing machine. I'm winded, I need to catch my breath. But we got the 2 additional headsets, 2 additional microphones, so we could host 3 people in here live. The other monitor isn't turned on because we actually got, so I wired in that pure sound wave inverter to here to where I could actually turn that. It's nice, the little things that count. So I could turn that thing on and off from here. I wish I could turn my water heater on and off from in here. But I also installed this to give me a couple extra USBs, and it does have a digital volt display, but the lithiums are misleading. They'll tell you they're 12 plus, but all the way up to where they have nothing. So it'd be nice to put in that shunt. There's a whole other new digital display I'll probably install here or down there or somewhere. Got the 2 screens so I can really multitask on the lives. We got the different lighting, and now with that inverter on, these will kick on or off. This obviously, this is the camera that's capturing everything. But on a day like today, I just need to save this power. So we'll shut that down. That's a water filtration. Berkey is amazing. We could put a lot of nasties in there. Even, like, I don't even like that I'm filling up plastic bins and putting it into here, but they're BPA free. This should pull out any additional toxins that I don't want in my body. As you can see, this fridge is super tiny. There's not much to see in there. No need to show off. In fact, like all those bins out there, my water bins, I'm empty. So I need to do my run. I'm running out of food. So might actually consider a relocation versus a resupply. So that's to be determined. Got a whole bunch of meds and things in this rack. I mean, once again, it's not a big space, folks. Tiny sink. Got 2 burners. All my Lyme meds. There's protocols I'm doing each morning, each evening, right here. There is a tiny microwave right here, but obviously not a fan of that. Don't use that, and it would require the generator. Man, should I ought to click on a light in here? Down there, we actually have a heater that, considering how small this is very efficient. That's the only propane fixture that actually operates without a glitch. The propane to the fridge, it shuts off all the time, no rhyme, no reason. I don't know what implement I'm gonna have to fix on that, as well as the actual water heater. Now, I'm 6'1", and when I lay in here, my head's touching that side and my toes are touching that side. And as far as this width, that can't be more than a twin. So it's pretty small. I do have this Centropics energy frequency mat that I use every morning, every evening. Definitely something worth looking into. Gosh, seasonings, just things to whatever, survive with. Bunch of clothes. We got protein, dishware, just stuff to survive. Now this, my friends, it's quite the sacrifice. I actually need to uninstall that toilet, and that would give me a lot more room. That would make me a lot happier. But if I hold my phone up to my head, look at that shower head. My head's already hitting it down here. Now there's a rise about 7-8 inches when I stand in here, and look at that. That's a tiny little space. When you close this door or pull this curtain, I'm hitting shoulders and elbows just to spin around in here, but I'm grateful for it. It works. It works. So if I come over here, that's it, folks. That's what we're dealing with. Not much to it. It's kind of embarrassing because it's such a small space with dogs, with everything I'm engaging in up here in the studio. There's not much you could do with this. Obviously, this is a toy hauler. That tailgate could drop down. This is a couch right here that deploys down, but we just can't work with any of that stuff considering. And I got all my line paperwork and a bunch of important stuff down in there, and then another tote I kick my feet up on that it's got my nebulizer and other things. So just literally using every square inch of this tiny camper. I'm grateful. I feel blessed. Even though I can't afford to live in my own home. I can't. You know what? Versus turning the camera, you see enough of me. I'm just going to continue to show nature. Go for a walk? Go for a walk? Let's just go for a walk, shall we? So even before the podcast, adventure. And God put me on this incredible path. Very challenging, but what a blessing. I've learned so much. And we tend to learn most from the hardships life has to throw at us. So I'm very grateful for this whole experience. It's challenged me in so many ways. But pre the podcast, the Lyme journey, oh my gosh. The Lyme protocols are no joke. Super expensive. And in order to continue on even my Lyme protocols, there came a point I considered selling the home. And let's be honest, I don't own the dang home. The bank owns the home. I just pay a mortgage, right? So it just seemed nonsensical for me to sell that for whatever additional equity and just have to now pay to live somewhere else. It just financially didn't seem like the smartest thing to do. So ended up renting out every room and moving into the camper. And I'm so grateful for the guys I now have in that home. It's been such a blessing. They're all so amazing. With that being said, it only helped. It only assisted in, continuing the Lyme protocols. It's been a financial struggle to even gain proper health and wellness, in addition to this insane adventure of podcasting and trying to save the world, trying to sound the alarm. I mean, let's be real, folks. It got so real for me. I genuinely was there knocking on death's door. It almost took me. I felt so close to death that I wanted to end it myself. And I'm so grateful. leave it for God to show up and breathe life and put such amazing people in my life to help see me well. And God just continually keeps putting amazing people in my life that I keep meeting through the podcast. It's been incredible. Life is so worth fighting for. And that's why I'm so passionate, folks, about this podcast. That's why I'm so passionate about what we're trying to achieve. I'm trying to give voices to those like me that had no voice, no platform. And it's no secret when you connect the dots as to the very illness you're struggling with, and you realize, darn it, there's nothing organic about this. This was created by man. Oh, it's gut-wrenching. And the reality of it is it impacts far too many people. And it's not just Lyme disease. The evil in this existence did not stop there. In fact, it's magnified its efforts. It's continued its efforts to diminish our lights, to poison us, to sicken us, to where we no longer pose a threat to them. And it's an enriching business move for them when they own and collude and are all connected. This huge evil infrastructure, as we've seen with Western medicine, big pharma, pharmaceutical, the education systems, it's just everything. So I'm just doing my best, with flaws and all, to simply show up, sound the alarm on all these threats. Like, how is it we're not acknowledging proper war tactics? Well, oops, it seems like I hit the wrong button. Let me just ask some questions. How is it so many of the things we've sounded the alarm on, in fact, are not being recognized as a war tactic? How is it none other than a war tactic directly targeted at us? We could go through the gauntlet, but let's just keep it health-based for the beginning, right? How is probably the most recognizable, our food being poisoned, not a war tactic? We have countless ingredients, countless products under the label of food in this country that are illegal to 30 plus other countries. How is that not a war tactic? How is it not? Like, let's ask ourselves genuinely. Let's challenge ourselves. And when you look at the other angles of attack, it becomes clear that it is nothing but a war tactic. How is the fluoride in our water not a war tactic, knowing it dumbs people down? It literally lowers IQ. How is that not a war tactic? And that's been going on since like the 50s, folks. And we haven't stopped it. I think it's become very effective in dumbing us down to where we're not like putting a stop to it. How is the poisoning of our skies not a war tactic? There is a distinction. There is a difference between a contrail and a chemtrail. Contrails dissipate within minutes. Contrails last all dang day. And it's been proven without a shadow of a doubt that they're spraying, that it's not natural. So how is it not a war tactic when we look at what they're spraying, and it's aluminum and barium and graphene oxide and plastics and things that kill the pH levels of soil, all plant life, animal life, human life. It is detrimental to all biological life on a cellular level. Also, the aluminum has a neurological impact and is leading to more and more Alzheimer's and all these other issues. How is that not a war tactic? Another health one, the frequencies, folks. And I know the very individuals that own all of this, think about it. They got big money. They could stand up organizations. They could stand up these media and propaganda outlets, things to combat, and bot farms, things like that, to fight these narratives, to continue the onslaught of the frequency warfare that has also been proven to be harmful to our human bodies on a cellular level. And we're being bombarded. The simple scientists bringing up the proof that, my goodness, folks, if we would even seek proper monitoring, proper understanding as to the threat, our current frequencies, like, there's a reason we don't have that data and information as it stands now. And they keep rolling out new things. 5G, 6G, 7G, 8G. It's just going to continue. And we're being nuked. We're literally being nuked. And it kills me because, I mean, A, it literally is. But B, it's diminishing all your light. Every day that goes by, it's like we have less of a chance in our own minds to gain understanding, have the bandwidth and the energy and the neurological function to even put a stop to this. One of the most damning war tactics in my eyes is the control on information, the censorship. And we can look at all the different arenas that's coming from. It's coming from entertainment. It's coming from Hollywood. It's coming from sports. It's coming from idols. All these people are purchasable. Oh yeah, shoot this commercial, do this thing, X amount of dollars. Okay. And a lot of them are just literally useful idiots. If they actually knew what they did, I genuinely don't think the majority of them would do what they're doing. But the control and censorship of information through our government, through our laws, through our legislation, through the mainstream, traditionally mainstream media, it is no longer a free news outlet. It's entirely controlled. And it's to our detriment. How is that not a war tactic? To silence individuals, even if they were just questioning things, whether they were right or wrong. But we all know the majority of things that were labeled conspiracy theories, more precisely defined, were actually spoiler alerts. Because everything they were deeming through their war machine as a conspiracy has been proven true. So they're silencing truth under the guise of misinformation, disinformation, hateful content, hate speech, racism, anti-Semitism, any censorship on our speech is so extremely dangerous. And if we allow this to continue to where we lose our free speech platforms, we're done. We will be, oh, it's too windy up here. Let's do a turnaround. We got a breeze coming in and I don't want that to be too annoying to you. Isn't this pretty? I hope you're enjoying the view. So gorgeous. Gosh dang. Good dogs. You know what? So usually I don't walk on the actual roads. I'll just go hiking through. It'd just be a little too crunchy for us. So stay tuned, because I did go up the other day and explored a little, and I started hearing these elk bugling. So I was like, you know what? That's not too far. Let's go ahead, even though, I'm not hunting. It's like I'm in jeans and flannel and my two dogs. Let's see if we can get close to this bull elk, because that's what's calling, he's wanting to meet some ladies, what he's calling. So anyway, had an awesome encounter. Let's just say that. Walked up. I wish I'd done better videotaping, but I ended up walking up into these two bulls and they were going at it in the thicket, and almost came over the ridgeline on me and my dog, so I didn't do very good recording, but gorgeous freaking animals. I'll see about inserting that at the end of this, just if you're enjoying nature, to see some of these majestic, beautiful animals God had placed for us here in this life. So one of the concerning things about this whole control on free speech is how so many of us Americans aren't putting the proper value to free speech, and it's simply proven by the lack of the masses getting off the censored platforms and supporting the free speech ones. If we fully grasped the threat, because we don't know what we don't know, and we'll never know what we should know if we stay on platforms that are tyrannically controlled, and it's all to our detriment. And now we can see as to the threats that is, especially post-pandemic. My goodness, the egregious attacks on truth and the true spread of misinformation. This is a gorgeous meadow. Let's go down here. The egregious attacks on truth. That should have had us, like, I don't get it. It's like our own pride, our own ignorance is keeping us blind to our own detriment and safe. To properly acknowledge that war tactic in and of itself would give us the opportunity to obtain truth, seek truth. Then we would more so understand the 5G, the chemtrails, what our government's doing, how it's conquered, how it's occupied, how they're manipulating and stealing in elections. We could properly address all these threats, folks, but it's all lost if we lose free speech. And it's all lost in a way already because not enough of us are valuing free speech enough. Heck, some of us are literally brainwashed enough to even fight against truth seekers or truth speakers. And it's just a scary time. Not here to twist anyone's arm. I gotta humbly hand it back over. This is a gorgeous meadow. Make for a nice little camp, wouldn't it? I'm not here to twist anyone's arm. That's what the devil's here to do. The devil's here to control and manipulate and twist and destruct and destroy and kill and murder and bloodlust. Our loving creator God is here to give us free agency. So who am I to try to like pound the truth as I've been trying to within individuals? Now, there might be a good aspect to playing good cop, bad cop. Maybe I'll break through to certain people in that regard. So please give me patience and grace, because I might feel impressed to just really nail down on something. But at the end of the day, I want to leave everyone with their free agency, their choice. And it's your choice to get engaged. It's your choice to take offense to, if I want to say my piece on something and find it cowardice if people don't get more engaged, like that's your choice. I just genuinely want to see us more accurately acknowledge the war tactics being deployed on all of us each and every day. I had a friend just mention, we are nearing World War III. And I'm like, yes. Like actual kinetic warfare and real bombs, like on nukes going all over. Sure, yeah, we've never been closer to that. However, we've been in World War III for many, many, many years now. And I just hope and pray more will humble themselves to seek that clarity, that truth. Because add up all these tactics, real war tactics, and it's being deployed worldwide, and it's fully conquered our country. So how is that not a world war? Through unity, through a mass awakening, supporting one another, blowing up messages, sharing messages, doing small calls to action each and every day. Who knows? It should be irrelevant to everyone whether we right this ship in this life or not. The world could end tomorrow, but I'm still going to show up and plant an apple seed tree today. That's what matters. That's what feels good. And we definitely could save some lost souls along the way in challenging ourselves, bearing our testimonies, sharing our personal stories. Your story truly does matter. I challenge anyone that has a belief in God, Jesus Christ, to come forward, bear that testimony. We need that more than ever. When people find, and I need that testimony. Your testimony is going to put me more so on the straight and narrow and keep me from falling off like I am continually, like just a dum-dum. I would love to have you on. Let's share that with the world. You never know what heart that's going to touch. Heck, it might even breathe life into someone that was knocking on death's door or wanted to throw the towel in and save their mortal life, leading to putting them on a path that saves their spiritual soul. There truly would be no greater achievement in this life to be had, I feel, than assisting in that. And we can't twist arms. We can't put guns to people's heads. That's not how it's done. It's genuinely through our own experiences, our own testimonies. And the more we capture, the more likely. But just think for a second, your story could potentially penetrate those walls, soften that heart, and get someone to spend time on their knees and question things yet again. And it's not up to us at that point. Like, God will show up for those that earnestly seek him, just like he did for me. Anyway, kind of long-winded. Come on, pooches. Oh, what good dogs. They're living their best life. Moose actually been going after some squirrels so intensely. She messed up her face again. She came back all bloody. I'm like, it's like, dang it, girl. But she's living her best life. So I'm not gonna take that away from her. I apologize from the bottom of my heart if I have instilled any darkness, any demoralization. This is a bunch of elk. That's not the point. I don't want to drag people down. The devil's doing a fine enough job as it is. I want to more so build people up. I just know if we don't start addressing some of these things, it's just all going to become that much more challenging in times to come. When you're not feeling healthy and energized and no body aches and, brain fog, things of that nature. If that all gets ramped up, it's going to be harder. We got an opportunity here to stop the progressive decline of all of our states. And I hope, let's just do what we can. But I'll try better on not discouraging y'all and try to more so present solutions with optimism and light. Because at the end of all this, we know God's in control. God's got our backs. That's such a beautiful connection to make in this life. Okay, time to get back to camp. I love you. I hope you have a terrific day. We will see how things go and what I'm able to produce here in the near future. I hope it earns your respects. I hope it earns your likes and comments and shares. more so than demanding it and calling for it. I want to genuinely earn it so we can all help each other. God bless you. God bless all his children in this life. Until next time, take care. Stay. Oh my gosh, less than 50 yards. He doesn't know I'm here. Shh, Bolt, Moose, come here. Two big bulls wrestling. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Moose, Moose. Come here, come here, come here. Come here. Holy shit.